If you're watching this video right now, it means that the eclipse did not go well. We recorded this beforehand in the event of a catastrophe, some sort of apocalyptic, nightmarish War of the Worlds, 1938 Orson Welles radio drama kind of thing, and apparently that has happened. So,
I just want to say, since the eclipse is yet to occur, if I do get sucked into the vortex and taken to another dimension, I hope life turns into living hell down here once I'm gone.
By the time you're watching this, I'm on the rooftop with an AR-15 picking off zombies at will.
I think Bill's presence here on the planet is the only thing that has kept everything from descending into utter chaos.
You're very kind.
I'll go with that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Ott, Bill Whittle, Stephen Green with you at our pre-production meeting of Right Angle for this week. The post-apocalyptic, ellipsis episodes of Right Angle. And this week I have the genuine misfortune of having the members-only episode, and so I'll take the prerogative of the floor and go first. And that gives me the opportunity to try to scoop Stephen Green, who is,
no,
he and I have this Vulcan mind meld thing going on there. Anyways, I believe that Steve and I chatted a little bit beforehand, and Steve has some designs on speaking about President Trump's Afghan strategy, and that is, of course, he is now actually knitting a new Afghan. I think Melania taught him how to knit. So I would like to specifically deal with how the president presented his new strategy for Afghanistan, and just sort of talk about how that might go over with the public. I've already read a column that must have been waiting to be published from the hand of Senator Rand Paul, basically saying, I'm a no vote on this. At the very least, Congress should vote to authorize war, and I'm going to lobby against it. But I just felt, just from a sort of rhetorical perspective, how did the president do in presenting this? And in sort of at a broader sense, what does he need to do from here on out, assuming he is committed to this strategy? What kind of, for want of a better term, PR campaign need he launch?
Interesting. Yeah, and the thing I really like about this is it's completely not what I want to talk about with the Afghan speech. And so, yeah, we've got plenty of room for both of us on this one without stepping on anybody's toes.
Now, the other one is actually just, and this, I guess this is the members-only episode, but you guys can decide to switch it around however you like. But I found it fascinating that among the top-viewed cable channels in America today, the sort of dark horse surprise of the year, the last couple of years, is the Hallmark Channel. And it made me wonder whether the people who think that the only way to get eyeballs is through doom and gloom may be mistaken, considering that the Hallmark Channel, which tends to focus on stories that end well with heroes that do the right thing and villains that get their comeuppance and smiles and kisses all around at the end, but not too many kisses, and certainly not below about here, one wonders whether maybe the doom and gloomers, or the people who are just selling gore and sex, may have got it wrong. I mean, my understanding is the Hallmark Channel is even beating a couple of the cable news channels.
Oh, wow. They might be beating Fox News before long. MSNBC's been having a great run of it, just like they did during the Bush years, when our progressive friends were all angry all the time and wanted Rachel Maddow to tell them how angry they should be. And I love the fact that Hallmark is providing sort of a counterbalance to all the anger out there.
That sounds great too, Scotty.
And I don't know, it's funny because when we go to a movie sometimes, it's like, hey, what's showing? And we start going through the movies. And the last time I looked, it was like nothing but R-rated movies. And I thought, is there no audience left for people who may not want to see, nudity and sex and constant barrage of obscenities and all that kind of stuff? And apparently Hallmark Channel is finding a niche, and it appears to be growing.
Maybe we should make that maybe the public one. I think that's just really interesting, a really interesting point to make.
It's the feel-good right angle of the summer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make Stephen Green wait and go straight to Bill Whittle, the eponymous website doyen, That's not the right word. BillWhittle.com. Doyer, that's right.
He's got moxie, that kid.
It's like the masseuse and the masseur. I could never get them straight.
The kid stays in the picture.
Give me a C, Bill, a bouncy C. Go ahead.
I'm actually I'm presented with a problem I don't think we faced before for this one. I want to talk about watching the total eclipse because I can't think about anything else rather than watching the total eclipse. And the problem with that is I can't ask you guys questions because you weren't there, but I was. So I was wondering without having to add
the eclipse. What do you mean? You weren't on the planet?
I wasn't. For 2 minutes and 21 seconds, I was not here because it wasn't Earth. I can't. I'd like to save it for the show.
Okay.
But I was wondering if, without giving you guys any extra work or not too much, I was wondering if I could just kind of describe what it was and what happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Then let each one of you ask me a question, perhaps, and that way I don't have to do any work at all.
Yeah, when it comes to astronomy stuff, orbital mechanics is math way above my ken, but I love it. I'm fascinated by it. I can talk about any of this stuff for hours with just about anybody willing to listen. So I love that you're doing this.
And it's got nothing to do with orbital mechanics or physics. It's just it's beyond that.
And I'm unable to speak on any such subjects. I mean, just ask my college professors of physics and astronomy. But as long as we're not being abducted or probed, I'm in.
Okay, great.
Well, we can promise no abductions.
Perhaps some probing questions, like Stephen Green. Exactly what do you intend to speak about and grill us about on this week's Right Angle?
Well, I really want to talk about the salesmanship that Donald Trump used in his Afghanistan speech. Is that going to step on anybody's toes?
Wait a minute. No.
No. I want to talk about the hard stuff, the policy, the what are we doing there after 16 years, and not in an anti-war we have to come home right away thing. But we do have two Donald Trumps here. We have candidate Trump, who campaigned on getting us out of Afghanistan. We have President Trump, who after months of what he called consultations with his military leaders, has decided to actually up our commitment by an unspecified number of troops. And more interestingly, has decided to loosen the rules of engagement significantly while also putting Pakistan on notice. So I think there's a lot of red meat here we can chew on.
Well, yeah, and he said to the government of Afghanistan, we've upped our commitment, so...
Of course.
Yeah, I think it is fascinating. But however, I do think the stories I've seen so far that are reminding us of what Donald Trump said in 2012 about Afghanistan, I'm like, Donald Trump was not even running for president in 2012. He was not getting briefings from the National Security Advisor or the head of the Pentagon, the Secretary of Defense, or any of that kind of stuff. So to hold him now in the current situation to the standards that were evident then, I was a little afraid, Stephen Green, when you said you were going to get into this topic, because I think you're a little randy for this whole get out of Afghanistan thing.
You mean Rand Paul? Was that a little dig at my libertarian side?
Oh, forgive me. Did that come out that way?
No, and I part ways significantly with big L libertarians on foreign policy. I've called myself a small L libertarian because of that, or a classical liberal, libertarian hawk, any label other than capital L libertarian, because a foreign policy that worked for 3 or 4 million farmers hugging the Atlantic coast does not work for a continental-sized nation of 330 million people with commercial interests and security interests that literally span the globe.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of news, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, the human drama of news competition. This is Right Angle on BillWhittle.com, and we are raring to go for this week. So we thank you for your membership that makes it possible for us to be able to consider these topics and give them their full scope and play. I especially love it when we go into some episodes where we don't all see eye to eye, or at least, I can pretend not to see eye to eye until the end when we all kiss and make up and the good guy wins. And it's like the Hallmark Channel all over again.
No probing, please.
We look forward to you seeing us. I almost said seeing you, but that's a little too NSA for me. To you seeing us this week on Right Angle. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, I'm Scott Ott. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us.